turn the radio.
Yeah.
Welcome back, We Rise Podcast.
It's not on yet.
How you doing? How you doing, Jared?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. We're a little late today because we were waiting for Mr. Marvin Bonds to show up. And here he is, Marvin Bonds.
Step right up, Marvin.
There he is. Grab him.
Wait,
Grab him.
No, leave him alone.
Wait, is that Marvin?
No,
Marvin.
Well, he must have took out the garbage.
He's fighting with his
What? But
He's fighting.
he put his
He's in the red shorts.
No, he's not.
He's fighting with the iPhone.
He's taking
charger.
He's taking his trunks off the wall.
Welcome back.
What's
How you
going
doing?
on?
What's going on, brother?
Let's talk about,
What are we doing?
I hear a lot of stuff on social media about social media. But you hear a lot of stuff. Everybody's like talking about Patriot fans loving Tom Brady and being
I was one of those guys.
Bandwagon.
talking about
They're Tampa Bay fans now.
Pay close
Patriots
attention.
fans and Tampa Bay fans.
pay close attention. Pay close attention. Of course, a Raider fan who's like the past 20 decades. You guys
No,
had?
not that long.
Last time you guys won, Marcus
4
Allen.
years ago, we were in the playoffs.
4 years ago.
3 years ago.
That's
Derrick Cobb broke his leg. Remember?
Go ahead,
No.
stay still, Todd. Stay there.
I don't
All right,
remember.
we got a little TV production.
I don't remember that. But no, I want to talk about it. You see everybody, people are like talking trash because regular diehard Patriot fans are cheering Tom Brady on.
I don't know.
Help me understand that. Because I know if you're not a Patriot fan, you hate Brady because he just probably broke everybody's back.
I don't think anybody should hate Brady.
Well,
At this point, he's solidified as the GOAT and that's coming from me who would never say it until he left Belichick.
put the GOAT in Belichick and all the other stuff aside. How do you the Patriots? I'm a Patriot fan, which means I'm still a Patriot fan, and Tom Brady's playing in Tampa Bay. How are you not a Patriot fan and love that man and support all he does and want the best and want him to win? Even Gronk.
Yeah.
They brought championships here. They played in more. Tom Brady played in more Super Bowls than. Come on.
He's played in 20% of all Super Bowls ever.
And he
Can you
did.
imagine
And he
that?
did most of it at Gillette Stadium at Foxborough
That's
in a
crazy.
Patriot jersey.
Well, this is the first time a quarterback gets to play at their home team too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Listen. As far as the Brady and the whole Super Bowl, I'm gonna say this. I'm a Brady fan. I know Brady's a winner, but Patrick Mahomes, that
Or a
kid,
team gets to play there.
Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, they have listen. Patrick Mahomes is a winner.
I have Kansas City winning. Truthfully, I don't see him winning.
Well, you got to think about this. They're playing in Tampa Bay Stadium. The advantage has to go to the home team. I mean, I'm not saying. Listen,
Well,
if anybody's going to beat Tom Brady, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
If anybody's going to win,
Mahomes is something else. Man.
Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City, they can beat the Bucs at home in the Super Bowl. If it happens, don't be
Yeah,
surprised.
they definitely have home field advantage, so that's cool.
The first time in history, Tom Brady's made history
Yeah,
in the NFL.
all the way around.
Yeah,
All the way around. What is he, 42, 43 now? 43 years old?
something like that.
44.
Playing at a high level. Why would he retire? I'll play another 10 years.
43.
Especially if I knew how much everybody hated me. I'll play another 10 years and win another 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Keep playing. I think you could play him. That goes into the mental part of sports.
You got to give him credit where it's due, though. For sure. 100%. What about I wanted to touch on something. Conor McGregor fought Dustin Poirier and not the part where he got finished and knocked out and all this, and it was a good fight for a little while. The part I want to touch on is they started making crazy memes like they did. Remember when the boxing match when that guy got knocked out? It was a
when he was laying under the
basketball player. So they made memes or whatever. Like, it's funny. If you have a sense of humor, this stuff's funny. Like they come, the stuff that the comedic intelligence that comes from it is funny, but the respect level of it, I don't appreciate that. The level of respect that they're given. This guy has came out and destroyed people, all like ran through people. But it's the nature of the beast that, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right?
Listen. Listen. First and foremost,
But I don't appreciate the memes.
Conor McGregor's Irish.
I don't get down with it.
Conor McGregor. Yeah, I just seen you on a meme with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Those are fine. Those are fine.
there's Bernie Sanders.
Those are fine.
You're in a meme driving Bernie Sanders to the gym. That's why we're really late. Come on. You're throwing a line with Mims and you're driving Bernie Sanders on a motorcycle with a helmet on?
Bernie's the man,
Jesus.
That's funny.
That is funny. You don't appreciate the Mims. You hear that?
Yeah, we got it. We're working.
That's right. I'm with
It's French, the Mims.
That's right. I'm with the Hulk and we said it. Hysterical.
I don't know. The guy on the couch, me and you been there. When we look across the cage or look across the ring, it's a warrior looking at another warrior getting ready to do battle, right? Or it's a guy on the couch eating a bag of potato chips, looking at a TV, telling this guy how he should live and what he should do. Come on, man.
I'm the guy in the corner looking at him like he's holding the potato chips I want. That's what I get. Yeah,
exactly.
Give me some. So I get mad at it. Yeah. Especially if they were Doritos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'll go throw this out for you guys. Tom Brady, his Super Bowl percentage, because you were going out, is 47.6% of the time. Right? He reaches the Super Bowl. Steph Curry, you guys all know who Steph Curry is, right? He only hits a 3-pointer 43.3% of the time. So Tom Brady has a better chance of reaching the Super Bowl than Steph Curry is hitting a 3.
All right, we're done with this Brady stuff.
Listen.
I'm out of here. I'm surrounded.
You're in you're in the city that never sleeps now. Your team is graduated.
Next year, man. I'm telling you.
Oakland,
we've been saying next year for a long time, but next
Oakland, LA. Now you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You're in the money.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Can you imagine tailgating in Vegas? You think Foxborough's fun?
Nothing's like Foxborough.
Can you imagine tailgating in Vegas?
Nothing in the world compares to tailgating at Foxborough.
You wouldn't understand. You don't eat as much as me.
Tailgating in Vegas. Yeah, I could see a guy in a window with a sniper rifle.
Oh, whoa.
That's what tailgating. Hey, that happens out there.
Yeah. We got a good show today. We got a good guest coming on. Before we bring our guest on, we want to talk about what do we want to talk about, Jared?
We want to talk about how everyone loves you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about it. No, but I wanted to talk about the mental part of the boxing, of the mixed martial arts, the mental part of
combat sports,
of any sports, really. Your mind has to be as conditioned as your body, because if you're going in there and you're just throwing punches and you don't have a plan, you're just basically throwing punches.
Yeah,
it's like a street fight.
How's that go? If you fail the plan, you plan to fail.
My point is this: conditioning. You're not going to get by on just conditioning. It's not it's not enough to rely on strength and power. You got to rely on strategy and tactic, and you have to
fight IQ.
That's right. You have to rely, and there's so much happening at once that you don't have time to think. You have to. The mental part of this, for any young fighter or anybody coming up, the mental part of this game should be your number one priority. Because if you want to be a fighter and this is what you want to do, you already better be in shape. That's part of your job. So get in condition. When you come in the gym and you go in that gym, it's really just like with a pad and paper, because you're taking notes, almost mental notes. You're taking mental notes. You're in here strategizing and learning why you do what you do so you can adapt in that moment when something happens. It's like sailing in a sailboat. It's a beautiful day. The sun's shining, everything's beautiful. You're laying down, the wind just taking you, they in a ripple in the water. All of a sudden, a big gust of wind comes and throws everything off.
What do you do now?
You don't panic, right? You got to adjust your
What
sails
do you do
according
now?
to the
Yeah.
way the wind's blowing. And it's the same type of mental part of this. Boxing, there's a lot happening at once.
Yeah.
There's
What was we talking about the other day? So, training the basics so that when something does happen or take place, so the basics, so that when something happens that's out of the loop, you don't have to think about which way to turn my hand, where do I step, which way do I move, this and that. You want to train your body, the basics, over and over and over, so you can just respond without thinking about that. Now you can put your mind in the mental aspect of the game. Like, what's my game plan from here on out? That audible.
Yeah, if you're relying on conditioning and strength to win fights, you're not growing as a fighter or as a boxer.
Yeah.
You're not growing. Like,
that's secondary.
Yeah, because if you're in the gym and your coach is trying to teach you something, you gotta apply it into your everyday thought process. You can't just.
What did you say? Live, eat, breathe, sleep, eat it, breathe it, live
it's
sleep it.
I know if I didn't understand something, or if my coach told me something, I would try it. I would do it. And then when, this is where it really matters. When you're sparring and you're in the ring and you're learning something new, and, during that sparring session, that's where you got to apply it. That's where you got to try it at least. That's what sparring's for. You make your mistakes sparring here, but you have to be mindful of the training and your mind. It's very important. And you can't carry baggage on the street. You can't carry baggage in here. Having a bad relationship.
Oh yeah.
Having being
huge.
Being taken to court. Whatever it is.
And then you can't focus in.
Right. If you bring in your emotional baggage into your fight, your training, you're still clouded. You're still not there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to clear your mind. You have to be focused. I think it's got to be calm and collective. And it's people come in and you want to be all rambunctious, and that's where you get tired. You lose. You think you're tall.
Well, the thing is too that you want to. The thing is, there's the physical aspect of it, size, strength. But even like Bruce Lee taught a long time ago that size and strength overcome technique and knowledge, but that's when you have equal technique and knowledge. So you want to make sure you're in the best shape you can be in, as strong as you can be, fast as you can be. But that mental aspect of the whole thing is huge, because that's actually where the winning is done. And you can overcome like and I know it, that that anxiety and things like that comes along with training and fighting and getting that experience. Experience wins out, but the experience wins out because you have that mental ability that you learn from over time. So you can, actually not gas and things like that, know when to use certain amount of energy at what time. After like 10 or 12 fights, then I was like, all right, now I can calm down.
Yeah,
I'm okay. I'm here.
That comes with experience.
I'm used to this place. Exactly. And so now the speed and strength and all this other stuff, it comes into play when the person's equal. But now when you're calm and you're ahead of that person, you can reserve that speed and strength and energy and whatever else. And now that comes in, like, you hit him with an overhand right and he's almost done. You just, you jump on him. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be.
Listen, you're going to be in a lot of situations in that ring and that. There's going to be a lot of different scenarios. And to be a complete fighter, you have to be prepared for a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So there's always a counter to something. There's always a way to counter or to be prepared. If he does this, you have to do that. If he does this, you have to counter with that. There's so many ways and there's so many things happening at once that you can't afford to not have this part of the game.
Yeah.
You can't afford it.
You're not just a mindless maniac.
Yeah,
People don't understand that whole aspect of combat sports. I mean, you really got to be mentally prepared and like. I barely remember my first fight. How about you?
I do. It was like
I barely remember. Yeah. Swinging for the fences.
Right? I came back to the corner and I sat down my first fight and I sat down. And
How'd I do?
How'd I do? I was like, give me an oxygen mask.
One 3-minute round.
It was like a 30-second round. I was dying. All my people up in the crowd. All my people are in the crowd and they're like, I'm looking at them. I can't breathe. Like, I'm done. Yeah. My first fight, and I had to get out and fight 2 more rounds.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I watched my son go through that. His first fight was at Foxwoods.
Yeah,
I started panicking. I couldn't even coach him. I told all the coaches you're gonna have to take over from here, and I just sat down. I couldn't even coach him. I couldn't even talk because I was like, why would I let my son go in this ring and fight another man? The whole time I'm thinking it's me getting in there. I'm all excited. Then I'm like, wait, it's not me. It's my son.
I couldn't do that.
Man,
my son.
They might choose it though, Jared. It might be. You might just have to go through that.
I'm gonna have to go to that fight in a straitjacket.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was the hardest thing. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
To watch your son.
Watch my son
I
out
don't know
there.
if I could do that. Before they were born, and before I actually helped my babies. You wanted to do everything dad does, play football. Now it's
that's something to think about. The mental aspect of coaching. Right? Guys like Roland Estrada or Peter Senior, or even like you as you grew and learned, and that's another whole mental aspect of the game, huh?
Well, not all fighters make good trainers. That's just the way it goes. And there's some trainers that never fought that make great trainers.
Yeah.
So it's all about the student of the game. You got to be smart.
What are you doing? What are you putting your time into?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go on break. SFBN, Rhode Island.
When we come back,
we'll be back.
Yours truly, Derrick Brunson.
Yeah.
I can't hear y'all if y'all talking.
Welcome back. We got Derrick Brunson with us. What's up, Derrick?
Guys?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's going on?
All right, good. Hey, so we're gonna dive right in because Derrick, he's on a tight schedule right now, per usual, because he's always on a tight schedule. Derrick, what was it like? So where you from?
I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I pretty much grew up there, went to college in North Carolina, and it's been home for me ever since, just born and raised.
All right. How about mother, father? You grew up with mom and dad, or?
Oh, yeah. I grew up with my mom and dad. Grew up in a low-income family. My dad was a little alcoholic, but he kind of exercised those demons, I guess, when I was about 14. So I've been seeing a guy, battle through, alcoholism and being a productive adult. So it's been good to watch that.
Oh, okay. So was Pops a main factor in your life, like, teaching you how to, like, stay busy working, because you're a hard worker. We all see it, man. Is he like his mom, Pops? Who was the driving force behind that?
Oh yeah, for sure. My mom always was that rock for us. Like I said, when my dad was battling alcoholism, she was always there, consistent. And then, like I said, my dad got it together. When I was about 14, so
Oh,
he
okay.
showed me that ability for somebody to work through, some bad habits and still be productive also. So
Absolutely.
How about before Dad got better? How about those earlier days? How were those days before Dad was cleaned up?
it's pretty crazy. I'm sure a lot of people who grew up in, a crazy household, especially when parents was, on drugs and alcohol, they know how it goes. It's a lot of uncertain days, but like I said, it was just like a whole life lesson. How you exercise your demons, work through that, and then make it work for your family.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say that, um, my dad is down here in Rhode Island. Is organized crime, and he went to jail for murder when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Mom, alcohol, drugs, and so I was you. And when you
Yeah.
start, when you talk like that, a lot of times growing up, I was ashamed of my testimony. It was
Yeah.
embarrassing. I didn't want to talk about it. But you go in there, you're going to inspire people because even though we come from whatever it is, for you, fortunately, that he cleaned up and it's definitely a blessing, but not everybody can, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a fact, and it's crazy. We have like a whole crazy dynamics with my sisters. I have two sisters that we share the same mom and dad, and we all grew up in the same household. And it's like all three of us went to college and got college degrees and stuff like that, which typically that doesn't happen. So we definitely had a strong foundation when it came to our mom, holding things together, and then my dad eventually getting his act together. It became when I was like 13, 14, when I started getting a little bit bigger, and I was telling my dad, we're not going to take too many more of those, alcoholic days. Things started straightening up. So we pulled together. And like I said, the mom was a big factor. And a lot of people that grow up in that, like you said, they're not able to make it back and be productive adults. It takes them a lot longer, and they're not quite ahead in life until they get a little bit older and then finally figure it out. But luckily, we were able to.
So what about mom? Is mom a God-fearing woman?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mom's a God-fearing woman. Believe strong in her faith, and she just always believed in keeping the family together and keeping that family piece together.
Driving force right there. She's got God behind her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You see it in his eyes. He has them too. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So
that's all we need. Right? That's all we need.
That's all we need.
Everything.
What about what's coming up? What's coming up for you after 3-0 in your last 3 fights and
it's on a tear right now.
And still grinding after all the, what do you have, 9 years, 10 years in the UFC?
Yeah, going up on 10 years in the UFC. Yeah, I still have that fire. It's funny, me and somebody was talking about this the other day. It's like I'm 37, but I'm still competing at the highest level with all these young guys that's coming through. And I train with a lot of like up and comers, top guys in the world, and I'm in there grinding and getting better of these guys. And the difference is, the older you get, you have to take care of your body. You have to really look back and say, hey, I can't eat the same thing I ate when I was younger. I got to train as hard as I was when I was younger, and keep that same attitude and consistency towards your training, and you can last a long time in the sport. But when you start getting that, oh man, I don't feel like going to practice today, and you don't go, those things going to add up, and you're not going to be so successful like these young guys because they're hungry.
Yeah, well, I think that as we get older in this business, the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
The stakes are higher, so we gotta, like, if we had our best performance ever, our last fight, we gotta top that. That means because we gotta. That means we gotta go a little harder for the next training camp.
Absolutely.
When the stakes are higher like that, definitely taking care of yourself.
So what about the kids? I know you're a father. How many kids you have?
I have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, and then I have 2 stepsons. So We got a busy household. Yeah, yeah, we got a lot of kids running around. That's the good times, you know. Definitely
What's
have the
that?
kids with the dudes. Cool.
What's that like during fight camp?
Oh,
Like,
so lately for the last three camps, when it comes close to a fight, I go out to Florida for like 4 weeks. You know, just kind of focus on the fight, get away, focus on things I need to work on, and just focus on myself when it comes to that fight. You know, I FaceTime the kids. I go home like every 2 weeks, but I go to Florida and I stay out here for 4 weeks and until my fight, then I go home. You know, I realize I'm not getting younger, so all these fights coming up, I have to make the most of. So I have to be in my top shape. I have to prepare properly, and I have to maximize. So that's been the biggest driving force in my last three fights from previous. You know, before that, I was going to these big fights thinking that I can do it at home. I can sit here and, you know, be real comfortable, have the kids playing with them every day. But in life, you got to make sacrifices. You know, without no sacrifice, what you're not gonna come up with nothing. You know, it's not gonna be peachy every day and just everything how you want it. So those sacrifices pay off. You know, later when you know you really put them in.
so what was your why? Why like what's like your driving force? What got you, focused in like college to keep going with the wrestling? Then after college, going to MMA, and what's like what's your driving force behind that? Like we all have like I grew up real poor and I like to fight a lot, so it was like in the streets it's easy, you beat people, but we got to the MMA setting, like there really wasn't money and things in it when I first started, but my driving force was like to challenge myself. Then it became doing something positive for my children. What do you think your driving force is?
Oh yeah, I actually got into MMA like trying to pursue Olympic style wrestling. So I went into the gym and it was a lot of like former college wrestlers. There's amateur fighters, and I was the better wrestler of the group. So I take them down, and they're like, "Let's keep going." I'm like, "What's going on? What is this called? You know, how you guys wrestling from your back?" So that was jujitsu. So I started doing jujitsu. Then there's like, "You should do a fight." I was like, "I don't know." Then started doing boxing. I started doing kickboxing, and I was doing everything. So about 2 months after that, I took my first fight, and then here I am. And it started out as competition. I wanted to compete. I wanted to find another way to like pass college, challenge myself, and then it became, I really can do this at a high level. I made good money working after college, but I really can change my life, with these checks that I get from the UFC. So
Yeah,
the harder I work and the more fights I win, that translates to more for my family. And, definitely, the family is a driving factor. At the end of the day,
yeah,
the older you get, you start doing anything for your family. So that's definitely my motivation.
absolutely. So you said you were talking about how you wrestled, then you got to MMA. Your jiu-jitsu coach, I want to say, God rest his soul. I seen that Jeremy Owens passed away
Yeah.
on you. So I had a situation like that where one of my main people that brought me into this passed away on me. That's a hard one. That's a tough one to take. When it's like went through things in your career and all that. So rest in peace to that, brother.
Well, when you talk about the wrestling, I want to point out the NCAA Division II All American.
Right. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
What
indeed.
school? What school?
UNC Pembroke down in North Carolina.
All right. Congratulations on that.
All
Yeah.
right.
What's the other one though? What's the other one? Even
What's
I thought this one was incredible.
What's one? The co-ed national cheerleading champion.
Oh yeah, we did that a little better in high school. Cheerleading, man. It's funny. Everybody think, oh, you hang out at cheerleading. I mean, you're a cheerleader, blah blah. But like being I did it from like seventh grade. So I'm like, I don't know how old are you in seventh grade? 12, 13, whatever. And we would go to camps and it would be like 500 girls. So imagine, like, I didn't play any sports till my senior year, bro. It was just like, we'll go to camps and it was like 12 dudes and it was like 500 like bad chicks. So like, yeah, that's how I grew up, and I didn't want to do any other sport. I was in that all in on that.
Hey, but let me tell you something about the cheerleading you're talking about.
Slinging chicks.
Let me tell you that you have to be super coordinated and athletic.
Yeah,
and
absolutely, yeah.
Listen, that's athleticism at its finest. And for you to, All American Wrestling champion, cheerleading, and it's no wonder. you'll soon be a champion in MMA. You got it, buddy. Definitely have
So where you
he's got
training? Let everybody know where you're training now.
Oh, I'm training out in Sanford MMA in Fort Lauderdale, Deerfield, Florida. Like I said, we got a lot of top contenders out here, UFC champions, former champions. It's kind of like a little hybrid offspring of like what Rashad Evans started with the Black Zillions, and he started his camp after he left Greg Johnson's when him and John Jones was fighting each other, like I don't know, like what, 10 years ago. But yeah, it's a lot of guys down here, a lot of top guys, and it's been really good getting ready for my fights. The coaching staff is phenomenal. Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, wrestling coach. You got Cami Jiu-Jitsu, Wagner Rocha. They brought him on as staff as Jiu-Jitsu. One of your buddies, Sean Soriano, he's one of the striking coaches out here. So yeah, it's and like I said, man, we got like 30, 40 UFC fighters, 10 Bellator, 5 to 10 ONE FC. So yeah, we loaded in the practice room.
How about Gilbert Burns? You get to roll with him?
Oh yeah. Gilbert, it's funny, man. Gilbert and Usman used to be my main. When I first came out here, they were my main training partners, like a year and a half ago. So they got to fight each other. I'm like in the middle. I'm like, damn, man. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's a business. I guess that's an honor when two guys at the same gym make it to the two top guys in the whole world, and they have to fight each other. I mean, it is what it is. It's a business,
So Usman's not over there with them no more?
Nah, so Usman moved his camp to Colorado. Like I said, when things come up like that, then somebody's going to get their feelings hurt, and then it's gonna split. It's rare. You're not gonna see two guys that maintain that situation. That's rare.
So you can't pick who's gonna win that fight?
Nah, I'm staying out of that one. Yeah.
What about Gilbert Burns Jiu-Jitsu though? He's sick, huh?
Yeah. He's a monster on the ground. Yeah, he ADCC placer. So yeah, he's sick on the ground. Yeah.
What do you think about the Conor McGregor fight the other night?
I had kind of losing, man. It's funny because I comment on all the UFC posts, and I'm just like, because the fans, everybody love Conor and they love the hype, and I've been telling everybody the whole time, like all the fans, I'm like, Dustin's gonna win. Everybody's like, yeah, you gotta be joking, like just talking trash to me. I'm like, I told y'all, it's just in this sport you gotta be active, man. You can't go out here and make all this money and then take a break. This is a sport of momentum. You ever seen guys that's like killing people, but they're not really as good, but then they later cool down. Like it's all about momentum. When you confidence is everything in this game. When you riding high, you got to keep going. It's like playing what's that? Craps. When you keep hitting, it ain't no really. Yeah, when you hot, keep that thing going. So when you cool off,
kind of sleeping in them silk sheets. That's why.
Yeah,
I know.
Take year off at a time and coming back and having a big fight.
What about Chandler though? Doesn't he train with you guys too?
Who's that?
Chandler.
Oh, yeah. My Chandler, he look good, huh? Yeah.
You look good.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're gonna see. But so what's next for you?
So we got March the 20th. I think it's about 7 to 8 weeks from now. Fighting a young kid, Kevin Hollins. Fighter of the year last year, 2020. Kid, he got a big mouthpiece, so I don't like to talk a lot of trash. But hey, I like my game. I like how I match up against him. Business as usual. Go out there, dust them off. That's always the plan. So
that's gonna be a good one. That's a come up right there. I mean, the 185 division stacked right now.
Yeah. Dana White said it's the best division in the UFC. So
right
now.
185, yeah.
And what's that considered?
Middleweight. He's in boxing. That's like probably heavyweight or something.
Yeah,
close. Yeah.
Cruiserweight.
Heavyweight was like 200 or something like that. 200,
a little over 200.
Yeah, that's crazy. MMA, that's like middleweights. Like Mike Tyson, like the size of me when he was competing. Yeah. He's like 205, like ish, right?
Yeah, 205, exactly.
Yeah.
Guys like Frank Bruno.
Some fighting guys 6'4", 6'5". Think about that.
So that's something to point out. So what I compared Mike Tyson to in MMA is Anderson Silva. In 2017, I had it right here. It was they had a robbery of the year, which I agree with, on Share Dog, MMA Junkie, and MMA DNA. Robbery of the year against the GOAT.
Yeah, what a reward to get, Robbie. Yeah, I want to hear that. I'm like, yeah, reverse that decision. That's what I want to hear.
Yes, for
Crazy, man.
real.
Ridiculous.
For real. But
Yeah.
but what is that experience like walking out to the cage to go fight the quote unquote GOAT?
Yeah, no, it's funny because I always looked up to Anderson, but you know, I'm one of those guys that can get up for any fight. You know, if my mom was fighting over there, you know, we're gonna go get it. You know, so when it's time to fight, it's time to fight. So I put everything aside and I was just ready for that moment. But there's no question about his skill set. Anderson Silva has a very high skill set. Even right now, he's still one of the best fighters in the world. Like he might have lost some speed, so he might try to do things that he probably shouldn't do, like make pull in and stuff like that. But if he just kept his hands out and just shot his techniques, man, he can still fight at a high level, you know.
I agree. And another one too that stands out for me is Lyoto Machida. Like most people can't even hit that guy, and you knocked him out. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's funny. That was my big like UFC contract. They were like, it's funny. I actually was trying to shoot them a number that they wouldn't agree to because I was up for a new contract. I had maybe like 1 or 2 fights, and it was like, we want you to fight Machida. I'm like, okay. It was like, we want you to fight Machida in Brazil. I'm like, whoa, that's you asking a lot, you know. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool, pay me X amount, and I knew they wasn't gonna match it, and it was like, nah, we're not gonna give you that, and they offered me something else. I was like, nah. I said, well, this. They said, nah. I said, all right, well, tell them this or nothing, and then they agreed to it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we went in there and got it on in Brazil and got it finished.
That's why. Yeah. You gotta come like, come on, they're making money. They gotta give them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some savages, bro.
Yeah, this is a tough spot when you get behind them. Listen, if you're not with the right people and you get fed shocks early in this is you know, nobody sees that underneath stuff. The the backdoor stuff that happens behind scenes with fighters and promoters and matchmakers and it's a risky business, but you listen, I always said it. If you fight and you win, you just keep winning and doing your job. Everything else will fall in place.
Absolutely.
It will come the way it's supposed to come, God willing. Yeah. You put the work in. You know, a lot of young kids would turn pro around here, and they were worried about. They haven't even had a pro fight. They're worried about how much money they're gonna make.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
I'm like, well, I said, listen, if you're in it for the money, don't just stop now.
Yeah, for real, right? Yeah, it takes time. It's grinding.
Be in it because you got passion for it, because you want it here. Everything else falls in place. Just go do what you're supposed to do. Let everybody else do their job. Fight and win. That's what does the talking, winning.
Do you have a manager?
Yeah, I'm with Ali. Man, I've been with Ali for I met Ali the same night we met, Todd. Back in 2000, whatever that was.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but I said I met Ali that night, and I've been with him since, bro. That's crazy. So
you met him out here in Rhode Island?
I met him in Rhode Island. He was there with one of the Basie boys. Who was it? Was it Neiman or Gregor? One of those guys was supposed to fight on the card, and I think their opponent got injured or something like that, but they were still there. So
right, quick story, right? I'm with my cousin Kevin. I get hit. Only time in my whole career I get hit, and I get like a flash knockout. Get up. I'm like, what are you, damn it, don't stop. What are you doing? Why are you stopping the fight? No, you're all right, Todd. What do you mean I'm all right? No, I'm all right. I go outside, so I flip out. I go in the back, throw things around. I'm heated. I walk outside. All of a sudden, I see this clean cut, nice looking gentleman in a pink shirt. And then I'm standing there with my cousin. He goes, hey, Todd, that's the cheerleader that just knocked you out. I'm like, all right.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Okay. If you fight long enough, man, everybody getting some, huh?
Yeah, everybody.
I got that's the truth.
I got a bunch too. I gave a bunch and I took a bunch.
But that's the truth. And this is, like you just said, everybody falls. Everybody.
Yeah. It's how you get up.
It's how you get up. It's and that's the fight of life.
I rose a little bit after that though.
Yeah.
Fought Derrick, and then I went on a tear. I won, and then I fought for the first title in Rhode Island ever for MMA.
Yeah.
After that, so that's what we do, Derrick, and that's what you do.
Absolutely.
I watched you do it a few times.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff, man.
I know you got to get to work though.
Yeah. About to get in there and get this training.
We can have you back on when you're, going to get that gold, would you do a rematch with Adesanya?
Bro, that's what I'm working for. That's why I come out to Florida and dedicate, sacrifice
wait.
time away from my
No, you
family.
gotta
I ain't saying
stop.
nothing. That's what I'm working for,
That's
So
what happened.
yeah.
We can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Your car.
Hold on.
No.
No, he's in the car.
They probably disconnected because it's on his Bluetooth.
Disconnect.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
Your speaker might be connected to
You in?
your phone and your car.
Hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
All right,
Yeah, we're-
that rematch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I come out to Florida. That's why I'm working for you. Quietly behind doors. I'm like this, man. If somebody get me, please believe I'm coming back and I'm working hard to get you back. So yeah, that's the fight that I aspire for. I'm right there. I need about one more. This one in front of me, I need to take care of this one. Look good, and you never know. So yeah, I'm coming back for that.
Well, I believe you're in the right place. I believe you're on the right state of mind, and I believe you can do it. If anybody can control him, it's you.
Yeah.
I believe that.
For sure.
Yeah, the 185 champ.
Oh, and he.
I don't know about him going to 205 though. That's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Listen,
all right, brother.
Keep working hard.
Right.
Keep your faith strong, buddy. God
All
bless.
right. God bless you guys. All right. I'll see you.
All right. We're gonna go to commercial. SFBN Rhode Island. We'll be back. That was inspirational though. Derrick Brunson, man, he's a good guy, man.
Yeah, he is definitely
Focused, man. Focused.
I think he's gonna do well. He's definitely got the right he's here. So
yeah, he's already done well. I mean, 9 years. I mean, his last 10 years of his life, he's been a professional athlete. So, he lived the dream. For me, I feel like we should put this out there that it's not like you said earlier. It's not, if you're in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. If your heart is in it, you need your heart to be in it. So it's the experience, the travel, the road that you take, the ups and downs and lefts and rights, that you go through in the experience is like no other, aside from the money and all that may come, that may or may not come.
May or may not come. And that's what I was saying with a lot of these young fighters. If you truly want to be a fighter and this is what you want to do it because you're passionate about it. All that other stuff will fall in place. Just keep fighting, keep winning, keep growing, and keep learning. And everything else comes with it. I don't
trust the process.
Yeah, don't go into it, worrying about what trunks you're wearing, all that stuff. You do you, but you gotta win. You gotta get there. Once you get there, then you can worry about all that other stuff. Being it for the right reasons.
Being on posters and billboards and everything else.
I mean, yeah, it was all great, but
that was cool. I thought it was cool, the kid from CF. But I mean, that came with the hard work and the I never thought I want to be on billboards and posters. When they started doing it, I was like, I was excited about it, but it wasn't the focus.
You're all over Australia with these hands. These guys are, between him and Marvin, they got more awards with hand modeling, right? Hand modeling champion.
So this is what we got to do. This is our segment of scripture. A discerning person, of Proverbs 17:24. A discerning person keeps wisdom in view, but a fool's eyes wander to the end of the earth. Keep your eyes on the prize. Right?
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Keep your eyes on the prize.
Scripture tonight, yours truly.
We're going to get it together. Where's Marvin? Show Marvin again. Oh, he's over there. There he is. Where you at, Marvin?
Wait, so I was getting
he's hiding from us tonight.
I got out of the shower today. I went in the room. I was looking for a shirt. I'm looking, and I pull out your Hulk T-shirt.
All right, those are some nice shirts, though. We put together a few nice shirts.
Listen, yeah, it was nice. I like the T-shirt is built nice.
He was walking into places.
And then
Everybody was looking at his shirt like, stay away from that guy. Who is that guy?
Oh yeah, I was going to put it on, and then I didn't have my shoe on to help me get it on. So I left it.
You needed a shoe on to get your shirt on. It was extra schmedium.
Sebastian's shirt. I'm gonna get into it.
Oh,
man.
shoot.
All right, so
folks.
next week, you already know.
We rise, baby.
You already know.
Dude, that can't be possible.
They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know. So we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise. Every time I turn around.